IP'd has secured warrants of arrest for 3 individuals linked to the theft of precious metals. Details emerged at the Madlanga Commission recently. A suspended YMPD officer was arrested this evening on the East Rand. Another person involved in private security is expected to hand himself over at this hour. The third person, also an YMPD officer, was not at home. A suspended YMPD official has been arrested. 2 more suspects are still at large. IP'd has been looking for them the entire day. This is in relation to the precious stone valued at about $14 million theft matter. Investigations have been ongoing since 2023. Witness K testified at the Madlanga Commission that after selling the stones for $110,000, the cash was split equally among 5 individuals at a car wash. She kept 22,000 Rand for herself and handed over the remaining 88,000 Rand to be shared. Breakthroughs were made by IP'd investigators Delani Magagula and Namsa Masuku, both of whom appeared before the Madlanga Commission. The commission recommended task team. The Tactical Response Team, TRT, and the Gauteng Track Team were also involved.
Specific members of different law enforcement, so you don't have to talk to them, you don't have to see them to know their presence.
But you must know them, that this and this person, they did take part and participated in this operation. I can't finance on behalf of another institution or on behalf of another person that I didn't see in an operation.
I suggest to the commissioners to reject your version and to accept witness K's version on the basis that it is fully supported by Stoll's and Mackenzie's versions, and it is only your version which is out of kilter. So yours has to be rejected about her presence in the operation. What's your comment?
No, I never communicated with her.
By presence, do you mean physical presence?
Participation in the operation.
I think, please rephrase your question.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm suggesting to the commissioners that there is no basis to accept your version in light of witness K's own testimony and statement, which is supported by Stoll's statement, which you have been engaged on previously, and Mackenzie's statement, which suggests she was a part of the operation.
It's their statement.
Sorry,
it's not.
Mr. Law, can I also clarify? It's on the back of the chair. When you say operation, are you talking the scheme or the operation at the apartment?
I'm talking of operation in the context of how General Mkhwanazi deals with it. In his 2026 statement, he says the entire visit to the Kilani flat, seizing the stones and handing them over wherever, was the joint operation. It's in that context that.
And you indicated that they arrived in Golfs. Is that right? What did I?
Yeah. Yes.
What kind? Do you recall the model or not?
I can't tell if it was a Golf 7 or what, but it's a VW.
Okay. Now, you indicate in paragraph 11 that at the meeting at Nando's was yourself, Mr. Mkhwanazi, as well as officers Stolz, Mackenzie, and Mr. Van der Walt. Correct?
Yes.
So just to make sure, you've confirmed the model of the car you were driving and the model of the car that Mr. Mkhwanazi was driving. Do you know how the 3 other individuals arrived? Did they come in separate cars? Did they drive together? Do you recall how they arrived at the meeting at Nando's?
I first met with Mkhwanazi first. So when they came in, we were already inside the restaurant. But when they left, I think I saw, those 2 cars.
Those 2 cars that you
They came. Yes,
please
they
continue.
came separate.
Yes, you said they came. Please continue.
They came separate. Mr. Mkhwanazi, he was in a white RAV4, and then the other 3, they were using those 2 cars.
Thank you. Witness K, still Witness K, did you want to supplement your answer? Did you want to say something?
Yes, sorry. I can't tell if Keisha Stolz was alone or Keisha Stolz was with the civilian guy and Mr. Mackenzie was alone in the car.
All right, but your evidence is that you recall the three of them arriving in two cars and that the cars are EMPD Golfs.
Yes.
Do you recall the color?
Sorry. It was white.
One of them or both of them was white?
I can't remember if one was marked, the other one was unmarked, or both were white in color. I'm sorry, I can't remember.
No, that's noted. That's noted. Witness K, still in paragraph E. My apologies. Still in paragraph 11, you indicate in the second last sentence there, in fact, it's the last sentence, you say, while at Nando's, I shared with them the information from the informer and explained that he was looking for someone who could get him the stones and he was willing to pay for the stones. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
So what is the information that you shared at that meeting at Nando's to everyone who was gathered there? What is the information that you shared from the informer?
Okay, I told them that the informer knows somebody who resides at Kilani, flat number, then I gave them the unit number, and I gave them the directions, and that person is in possession of the stones. Once they get the stones, this informer is willing to pay.
And you've earlier indicated that the point of the plan, or the plan was to essentially steal those stones from the owner. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, based on your recollection at this meeting, as you shared this information with the people who were present at that meeting, they understood that the plan was to go to the apartment in Kilani and steal the stones.
Yes, they were aware.
They were aware that the plan was to go into the apartment and to steal the stones.
Yes.
Okay. Witness K, with reference to the stones, when you say you provided them with information, at that point in time, what did you know about the stones? Were you aware of what they're called? Were you aware of how they looked? What did you know about the stones?
I only know that some were purple, some were green, but I couldn't tell more of that. I didn't have enough knowledge of those stones as well.
At that time, when you were sharing this information at the meeting at Nando's, did you know the name of those stones? Or what did you refer to them as when you were sharing this information?
The informer was calling them sugar light stones, something like that, sugar light.
Thank you, Witness K. So, apart from yourself, did anyone else at that meeting have any knowledge about the stones? So, apart from what you shared with them, did anyone else there have knowledge on the stones?
Yes, I think the civilian guy had the info, had more knowledge on the stones.
And what's your reason for thinking that the civilian had more knowledge on the stones?
Because later during the day, when we met with the informer, he was the one who knew the value of those stones. They could rate at how much.
Okay. Witness K, is it correct that basically at Nando's the five of you met in order to plan the events of that morning? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so in practical terms, please explain what the plan was to get the stones, did you discuss in practical terms what would happen step by step?
Okay, my role here was to give the information of what I got from the informer, and Mr. Mkhwanazi is the one who organized people who will go to Kilani. And then later we managed to meet with the informer, and then the agreement and everything was later.
So, Witness K, to make sure I understand you, you're saying your role was to bring the information and to engage with the informer, but the how, the manner in which the stones were to be taken, am I correct in saying that you didn't have much knowledge of that? Is that correct?
Yes.
And that
yes.
you left the practicalities, the practical steps, you left those to Mr. Mkhwanazi?
To Mr. Mkhwanazi and his people. Yes.
Thank you. If you go to paragraph 12 of your statement, can you please go to the third line? The third line. There is a sentence beginning approximately. Are you there?
Okay.
Please continue reading from there. That's where I stopped you.
Oh, okay, thanks. Approximately an hour and a half after I arrived home, Officer Stolz phoned me. She phoned me and told me that they were inside the apartment in Kilani, and she wanted me to speak to the owner of the stones. While I was still on the line, Officer Stolz gave her phone to the owner of the stones. I then spoke to the owner, and I asked him if he had the necessary permit to be in possession of the stones.
Do you have any idea why she would have wanted you to ask this question? Why did they not do this themselves?
I will say maybe he wanted me to confirm.
Sorry? What do you say? What are you saying?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying maybe he wanted me to confirm that they are there on that, like they have arrived on the flat.
All right, thank you.
Witness K, perhaps to follow up on the chair's question, you had earlier indicated that amongst the five of you at the meeting, you were the one who had knowledge of the stones, yourself and Mr. Etienne van der Walt, is that correct?
Yes.
Did Officer Stolz have any knowledge about the stones, apart from what you had shared?
I can't remember well in the morning how. No, I can't remember. I can't remember.
But just based on your recollection, was Officer Stolz knowledgeable about the stones? Did she know much about the stones?
No, I don't think so.
Is it a possibility that she could have given the phone to you so that you could speak to the owner as you had some knowledge about the stones? And as you indicate in paragraph 12, you then asked him questions about the stones.
Oh, yes.
Could that be a possibility?
Yes. Advocate.
Witness K, please continue to your paragraph 13.
Okay. I knew from my discussions with Mr. Simon that the owner did not have the relevant permits for the stones. While I was still on the line with the owner, I then added another person to the call. I no longer recall the name of the man who joined our call, but he used to work at the mines and he had knowledge about mining and stones. I joined him to the call because he knew about the permits required to possess the stones. While we were on the call, the man spoke to the owner and asked him if he had the permits. The owner admitted that he didn't have the permits. Officer Stolz, Mackenzie, and Mr. Van der Walt then took the stones and left the apartment with the stones.
Witness K, this man that you say you no longer recall his name, did he know that what he was being asked to participate in was an operation that was not a lawful operation? Did he understand that?
No, he was not aware.
Yes. And this would have been someone that you knew from where? For now, at least I accept you don't recall his name, but to know that it's someone who used to work at mines and had knowledge of mining and stones would suggest that it's someone that you knew fairly closely?
Yes, it's someone I knew from where I lived before. He used to do the kitchen units and all that. And he also used to work at the mines.
Okay, so he was not a law enforcement officer.
Yes, Commissioner.
And was not an informer.
No, he was not an informer.
Okay, thank you.
Witness K, did this man that you spoke to know what types of stones you were dealing with here? Because not every stone, as you can imagine, requires a permit. So for him to ask these types of questions, I assume somebody must have told him what types of stones are being dealt with here.
Yes, I think when I called him, I told him that I'm asking on the sugar light stones. Does he know if a person have those stones? What must the person have in his possession?
All right, thank you.
On that same page, Officer Mackenzie continues to set out some detail about what occurred. You have already covered some of it in your evidence, but I'm going to ask you to look at paragraph 6 on page 11. Do you see that?
Okay, yes, I do.
Okay. Now, I'll read that for you. He granted us permission to search, and in his presence we found stones, full stop. Do you see that? Yes.
Yes, I do.
So if you read that paragraph in reference to the statement, the logical conclusion then would be that when Officer Mackenzie says he granted us permission to search, he's referring to the owner of the apartment granting them permission to search. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So the second sentence in paragraph 6 reads, and in his clothes cupboard, in his room, that's the completion of the sentence, my apologies. That's where they found the stones, in his clothes cupboard, in his room. He, being the owner, confessed that it is lithium and he doesn't have a permit to deal with the stones, and he does not have it, I imagine, trying to say he had not yet have it on his person, meaning he didn't have the permit. Do you see that in paragraph 6?
Yes, I do.
Is it correct? It cannot be correct there that the stones found by Officer Mackenzie at the residence in Kilani were lithium. Do you see that reference to lithium there?
Yes, I see.
Your evidence earlier was that the stones they were there to seize in the property was sugilite. Do you recall that?
Yes.
So when Officer Mackenzie says that the stones that were found were lithium, that cannot be correct. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Ms. Mkhwanazi, I wouldn't be sure about lithium or sugar light, but I seem to recall from previous testimony that different names were given for this.
That's correct, Chairperson. I was simply testing whether both the witness and Officer Mackenzie used the same lingo for the stones or whether different terminology was utilized. But I accept that different scientific names and different names were used for the stones.
And those names could well have been lithium or sugar light, or not? I'm not sure off the top of my head. All I know is that two names were used.
Noted, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Witness K, could I ask you to turn the page over to page 12, please?
Okay.
Thank you. In the remainder of that statement, Officer Mackenzie continues to set out several things, but I want to draw your attention, please, to paragraph 9 on page 12. Are you there?
Okay.
In paragraph 9, Officer Mackenzie states that K. Stolz called the JMPD officer and put the white male on the call with him to explain and question him. Now, you've earlier confirmed that that reference to the JMPD officer is yourself.
Yes.
And that you were, in fact, on a call with the owner of the stones, who I assume Officer Mackenzie is referring to as the white male.
Yes.
The second sentence of that paragraph then says, he then spoke over the phone with a expert also. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Who do you understand that reference of expert to be? Is it a reference?
Okay, I can't say. Okay.
Please continue.
To my knowledge, to my knowledge, I can't say he's an expert. It's just that he had the knowledge since he once worked at the mines and he knew some of these stones.
And
Not that he was an expert.
so that reference to expert could be to, or is likely to be to the gentleman that you added onto the call.
Yes.
Could I ask you, witness K, to please turn the page over to page 13?
Okay, I'm there.
In a similar vein to the warning statement we just previously went through, this is another warning statement. And when regard is had to paragraph 1, you can see that that is the warning statement of Officer Stolz. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
You've already confirmed for us that the JMPD officer being referred to is yourself. Could I ask you to go down further in that page?
Okay.
If you have a look, I'll give you the paragraph number right now. The paragraphs are not numbered.
Perhaps just give us the first few words
Indeed,
of the...
indeed, Chairperson.
Yes.
If you turn over the page, please, witness K.
Okay.
There's the second paragraph from the top. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
The paragraph begins, I called the JMPD officer.
Yes, I'm
Right.
there.
I'll just read it for you, and gave the phone to the white male. The white male spoke to the JMPD officer, as well as another person who was with the JMPD officer. When the person explained what documents and permits were needed, the white male got extremely nervous and refused to speak to them any further. So the other person who was with the JMPD officer, that's a reference to the male that you had dialed in on the call. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Witness K, can I ask you just to go to the bottom of that affidavit? You get to the second last paragraph from the end of the page, second last.
Okay.
It begins, "We left the flat." Do you see that? We left the flat.
Yeah.
Correct. So Officer Stolz here says, "We left the flat and met with the JMPD officer and gave her the SAP 299 and rocks, and we left." Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Could I ask you to turn over the page to page 15?
Okay.
And this is the,
And
are you there? For current purposes, this is the final warning statement I'll take you through, but you will see the CAS number at the top of the page.
Maybe before you do
Yes.
that, let me ask a question. Witness K, what is an SAP 299?
I'm not sure, but I think it's the paper they use to book the exhibit and hand it over to SAP dating.
So Officer Stolz gave you that form?
No, he didn't.
Okay, thank
She
you.
didn't.
She did not, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Witness K, I had drawn your attention to page 15, please. We were on
Okay, I'm here.
Thank you. That is the warning statement of Mr. Etienne van der Walt. If you have regard to the first sentence, he says there, "I, Etienne van der Walt." Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Right. I won't take you through the statement in detail, as it does confirm what has been set out in the previous statements. I'm going to ask you to have regard there to paragraph 2.
Okay.
Thank you. Let me read the following paragraph for you. My apologies, paragraph 3. He says, "We were en route." By we, he's referring to himself and the officers identified above. He says, "We were en route to our first truck stop when Constable Stolz received a call. Constable Stolz informed me that a JMPD officer had requested assistance in Rosebank and asked if I could accompany them quickly. And then we would continue to do the patrols of the truck stops when we were done." Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
And once more, that reference to JMPD officer is a reference to yourself?
Yes.
Chairperson,
But
please continue.
Yes, but still, I'm not the one who called Officer Stolz
Thank you.
here.
Thank you, Witness K.
Yes, I'm there.
You can read from paragraph 19, please.
Okay. A month or two after meeting at the car wash, Officer Stolz contacted me and told me that the owner of the stones had filed a criminal complaint and IPD was investigating them. She also told me that officials from the Independent Police Investigate Directorate, which is IPD, wanted to take down their warning statements. My WhatsApp communication with her is attached as X1.
Thank you, Witness K. Can I ask that before we go to those WhatsApps, can I ask that you just go back to your exhibit bundle, your second file?
Okay.
Please go to page, thank you. Please go to page 19. Page 19 of your exhibit bundle. It is CJC 313, page 19.
Okay, I'm here.
Just for context, you'll see that this is a statement. I won't read the deponent of the statement, but that is the complainant in the in the criminal case concerning the precious stones. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And he,
Yes, I do.
the deponent describes himself there in paragraph 1, and he sets out the purpose of the affidavit in paragraph 3. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Where he says, I wish to lay a criminal complaint against EMPD Department, in particular Constable Kershaw Lee Stolz and EMPD Constable Mackenzie. Do you see that? And he sets out in some detail the context of his complaint. I'm going to ask you to look at page 20, just over the next page. There's a heading there that says background in bold. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
There, the owner of the stones, the complainant in this matter, he says, on or about the 4th of February 2023, I received a call from a man named Alan. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
And he says he bought Sugarlight from me once in 2022. He continues to say, we have not been involved in business ever since he disclosed that his partner, Django, smuggles in abalone. Do you see that?
Okay, yes, I do.
Indeed. Do you know if that Django identified in paragraph 4 is the same person as the Django you have given evidence about today?
Yes, I do.
Is he the same person or is he not the same, according
It's
to
the same person.
the remainder of the paragraph? There says, Alan Barnes called asking if I had any Sugarlight. I told him that I only have about 67 kilos. However, I was not looking to sell these minerals as I intended to sell them at the Denver Mineral Show. In paragraph 5, the complainant says, Alan Barnes and Django then proceeded to call and message me persistently, asking me to sell my minerals to them. I declined each time. In paragraph 6, he says, during the same week, I also know that Alan, Django, Sonica Burden, and another dealer visited a Mr. Mohammed in Pretoria, where they told him that I have 67 kilograms of Sugarlight in my apartment. Mr. Mohammed then phoned 2 other dealers, and he lists them there, and told them that Alan had said, I have 67 kilograms of Sugarlight in my apartment. You see that?
Yes, I do.
Did you know that Django, who you've described as an informer, the person who asked you to get the stones, was familiar with, or at the very least had contacted the owner of the precious stones on the 4th in early February of 2023?
No, I was not aware.
You're not aware. So is it correct then to say that you were not aware that Django had repeatedly tried to purchase the precious stones from the owner earlier that month, according to the owner?
Yes, I was not aware.
You were not aware. And so then you were also, were you aware that, you must then have been aware that Django was at that point in time in February 2023 aware that the owner of the precious stones indeed kept the precious stones inside his apartment?
Yes. That's what he told me, that the stones are still on that apartment.
Can
Ms.
I-
Sasset, before you leave that page, Witness K, do you know the people identified or listed in paragraph 6 of that statement? So
No, I don't.
you don't know Alan Barnes.
No, I don't know them.
Do you know this person named Sonica Burden?
No, I don't know. I don't know
And then
them.
the
I only know Jem.
So you also don't know Rafi Mohammed?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Witness K, you indicated in paragraph 14 of your statement that Mr. Django had explained to you that he wanted the precious stones, but he wasn't able to access them for himself. Do you recall that?
Yes, I do.
And basically that Mr. Django wanted to participate in this market, but he didn't know how to enter, or didn't know how to involve himself in that market. Do you recall that?
Yes, I do.
And when you view that against the statement of the owner of the precious stones, that he had first initially attempted to buy the stones and then approached yourselves and the 4 individuals you've identified to steal the stones from him, would you agree that he attempted to purchase the stones and was unsuccessful, and then proceeded to approach you and the other individuals to obtain the stones for him?
Yes, advocate. I was not aware until I read the statement now.
Until you read it right now.
Yes.
My final question for you in this statement, could I ask you to turn to page 25? We're still in the statement of the complainant. Please turn to page 25.
Okay.
Thank you. If you have, my apologies, let me check the paragraph number for you. Could you please turn back to paragraph 31 on page 24? Sorry about the mix-up. Page 24, paragraph 31.
Okay.
Thank you. Do you see that?
Yes, I'm there.
I'll read it for you. The officers, if you have reference to the paragraph before, you don't need to go there. He's referring to the 2 officers in the apartment. So he says in paragraph 31, the officers then proceeded to remove the 6 boxes of Sugarlight downstairs to their marked SAPS vehicles parked outside the apartment building on the street. This is the owner of the precious stone speaking. He then indicates that pictures of the Sugarlight are attached. I won't take you there. But in the final sentence there in paragraph 31, he says the market value of the Sugarlight minerals removed from my apartment is worth approximately 14 million rand. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Can I ask you to comment, in light of the owner's...
If you say approximately, so perhaps you should say approximately 15 million. If it's 14.9.
Indeed, Chair, it's generously, I'm actually being generous. It's more, to the tune of 15 million. Witness K, can I ask you to comment on the following? In light of the market value that the owner attaches to the Sugarlight that was removed from his apartment versus the amount that was paid to yourselves and the 4 other individuals, is there a comment that you would like to make between the differences in those amounts?
Okay, here I will say, I admit I followed up the information with the lack of knowledge as well from my side, because I couldn't tell even those boxes that were set on the table, what was the value for them at the time, how do we negotiate or how do we finalize everything after he got what he wanted from us. So seeing this so much, I don't know if I should say I was used and...
Witness K,
I don't know.
sorry to interrupt you. I'm curious to know why you did not ask your friend who was knowledgeable about these precious stones. Why did you not ask him about the price or the value, seeing that you were so keen to involve him in whatever that you were doing? If he knew about permits, surely he would know what the value of the stones were.
Okay, I think that's my mistake, because after the boxes were were handed over to Mr. Jengo. It means maybe I had to fetch him from where he stays, come and include him here so that he can also check them and say, no, if we have so much boxes, this is, like from receiving the stones, it was going to be maybe more administration and all that. So I was not even, like, I didn't have that knowledge that they will finally reach to this amount at the end of the day.
I'm looking at your statement. All of you even took the trouble of determining what the quality of the stones was in order to determine the price. And at paragraph 16 of your statement, it looks like there was a back and forth because Mr. Salmon was not happy with the quality of the stones, and there was then a negotiation to determine the price. During all that time, you did not consider it necessary to call this friend of yours who's knowledgeable about the stones to find out what the value of the stones is.
No, I didn't think of that.
Okay.
And who do you say used you? Is it Mr. Simon or the Mr. Simon?
Yes, Mr. Simon.
You can't really complain though, can you? Because
No.
you had robbed the owner of the stones. You can't really complain about having been used, can you?
No, I can't, Chairperson.
Thank you.